National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi, I'm Naturopathic Doctor Jonathan Beatty, a health expert here at nationalnutrition.ca. Today we're going to talk about throat infections, and this is a topic that hits a little close to home for me because growing up I actually would go through 2-3 bouts of strep throat every single year, and I was heavy user of antibiotics as a child, and actually it was my history with that and a few other health concerns that actually led me into the realm of naturopathy. And a big part of that is you're going to see demonstrated as we discuss throat infections and why people get them, because oftentimes all we do is we treat them, but especially if a throat infection is recurrent, we should start to look at what might be creating that problem. So throat infections, typically you're going to talk about your tonsillitis, your strep throat, laryngitis, anything like that could be what we would call a throat infection. So there's a couple different types. And again, it can be caused by a variety of different pathogens. And so with that, it's important to understand what pathogen you have and then how to treat it. Another common throat infection that I overlooked there is a Candida or thrush, as it's called. That's a very common one actually in asthma sufferers, which lo and behold, I was too when I was younger, because of the use of oral corticosteroid inhalers, which suppress the immune system, thus allowing the overgrowth of pathogenic yeast and bacteria. And it's actually one of the common side effects. In fact, it's so common, it recommends that after you use these inhalers, that you need to rinse your mouth out to try and reduce the overexposure of your tissues to those medications because of the increased risk of infection. So in fact, medications is one of the major causes of recurrent throat infection. Now, with things like strep throat, a couple of different things to try. Although that being said, one of the things you want to make sure is that you do treat strep throat pretty judiciously. The reason behind that is strep throat can actually spread through the body. It can go to the heart and create a serious condition called rheumatic fever. So if you do have a sore throat, you want to get a strep test done as soon as possible to confirm if it's strep, so that you can get it treated effectively and aggressively and quickly, reducing the chances of developing rheumatic fever. I found personally Golden Seal was my saving grace when it came to getting rid of strep throat after recurrent years of antibiotic use that I had only moderate success. When I started using a herb called Golden Seal, that had a much more profound effect. Again, you don't want to be using these things without a correct diagnosis, so it is important you still work with a healthcare practitioner, because just because it's a natural antibiotic, it doesn't mean it's inherently safe, and overuse of it can, again, create its own problems. So these are things you do want to use with the guidance of a healthcare professional. Golden Seal, though, very, very effective for the management of strep. You might also consider using things like garlic, which has some very potent antibacterial effects. For symptom relief, especially when you have that sore throat or laryngitis, throat sprays that contain sage can be very, very effective as well. Peppermint and peppermint oil, also very effective for symptom relief, just to relieve the soreness, relieve the irritation, and improve the function of the larynx in people with laryngitis. As well, too, for symptom relief, you can use lozenges or slippery elm as a gruel. Slippery elm is what we call a demulcent, and it basically soothes and helps heal any irritated tissue. And it can be very good for just sort of providing lubrication to the throat when it's that red, raw, dry feeling. And so slippery elm can be very effective for that. And of course, a teaspoon of honey, that classic remedy, very, very effective. And in fact, unpasteurized honey actually has certain enzymes in it that can be antibacterial as well. So not only is it soothing, not only can it help suppress cough reflex, the antibacterial effect of it can help you to actually alleviate the infection sooner and more effectively. And then with that, enhancing our immune system using herbs like Andrographis or Astragalus can help to prevent the development of those infections, as well as ensuring adequacy of nutrients such as zinc and vitamin C, which are necessary for our immune system to work. So making sure that, as part of prevention, you're going to ensure your zinc and vitamin C adequacy. Make sure that your system has all the nutrients required to work properly. And then last but not least, if your problem is recurrent strep, you can actually look into, there's gums and lozenges that exist that contain a special probiotic called Streptococcus Salivarius. And this is the bacteria in your mouth that actually helps to fight off and prevent the invasion by Streptococcus pyogenes, which is the bacteria that causes strep throat. It's the one associated with inner ear infections or otitis media. And so with that, what you're gonna do is actually use a natural probiotic to prevent the invasion by the pathogenic bacteria. So that can be another helpful thing you can do to help prevent recurrent throat infections. So if you suffer from throat infections, I hope the tips in this video have helped you. Any questions or comments you can post below. Subscribe to our channel where you can check out all of our health videos. And last but not least, always remember, knowledge is health.